Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of Quran Weekly, where I share with you verses of the Holy Quran that I find inspiring and deeply profound. So the verse that I'd like to share with you this week is from Surah Al-Anfal, Surah number 8, verse 46, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the community of the believers and He says, obey God and His Messenger and do not quarrel with one another, for if you do, you will be unsuccessful and your power will depart. According to a tradition from Imam al-Baqir salawatullahi alayhi, the fifth Imam of Ahlul Bayt, the Imam alayhi salam gives context to this verse, and he says that this verse was revealed during the Battle of Badr, when the Holy Prophet stationed his troops at a certain location in Badr, and some of the companions suggested to the Holy Prophet that he move the camp a bit closer to the water so they can have access to water. There was disagreement among the companions. They began to quarrel with one another. They began to bicker until it almost escalated into physical altercation between the companions. And then Allah Azza wa Jal reveals this verse where He says, and obey God and His Messenger and do not quarrel with one another. Do not fight with one another. Do not bicker about things that are insignificant. فَتَفْشَلُوا. If you do, if you continue to fight amongst each other and bicker, you will not be successful and your power will depart. It's interesting that if you look at this verse, when Allah speaks about power, He uses the word rih. The word rih in classical Arabic literally means wind. So Allah says that if you fight with one another, if you quarrel, your wind will depart. Wind, my dear brothers and sisters, sets things in motion. If you've ever seen a ship, you know that it is the wind that propels the ships forward. It's a symbol of progress. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is essentially saying that if you continue to fight amongst each other and bicker, you will not have impact. You will not see progress. Unfortunately, brothers and sisters, we live in a world today where Muslims are constantly at each other's throats. And we wonder why the ummah is not progressing. It's because we've forgotten the message of this verse. Allah tells us that if you continue to bicker with one another, if you are not united, you will not succeed and you will lose your wind. And one of the scholars beautifully put it when he said, Muslims are fighting with one another and disputing with one another and bickering amongst each other about whether it's permissible to pray with their hands folded or with their hands by their sides, while the enemies of Islam are devising ways to cut off our arms. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to guide us and bless us and invigorate our hearts with the spirit of unity. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.